Hi there, my name is Rachael Leahcar and I would like to start by first acknowledging that we meet on the land of the Kaurna people, and I pay my sincerest respects to the elders, past and present. Well, you've certainly reached a huge milestone. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for your tremendous efforts in completing your studies in speech pathology. I myself did a couple of topics in this area, and while it was enjoyable, it can get absolutely grueling, so well done. Now, I believe we all have a story to tell and valuable life lessons we've learned along the way. So I'm here to share some fun facts about myself and hopefully some words of wisdom for you to extrapolate your own conclusions and maybe apply them to your life in the future. A bit about me, I'm 29 years old, born and raised in Adelaide, South Australia. I am a singer-songwriter, about to finish a Bachelor of Disability and Developmental Education at Flinders University, and about to be a mum for the first time in just a couple of weeks, which is why I needed to record this instead of guaranteeing being with you in person, unfortunately. So apologies if I'm not there. But if I am there, hi future Rachael, give everyone a wave. Now, I was diagnosed with a condition called retinitis pigmentosa at 6 months old. This is a genetic eye condition and it's degenerative, which means my sight will deteriorate over time. I have tunnel vision, short-sightedness and night blindness, and I now have under 5% vision left, which is why I'm using my phone as notes today with my accessibility options on there. So if you put both hands up like that, kind of like binoculars, that's kind of like what I see, but what I see through there is very blurry. So I started using a cane at 15 years old and was very reluctant at first. The last thing I wanted to do was stand out and I just wanted to blend in, but I soon realised the huge difference that it made. Instead of getting dirty looks when I bumped into people, I got helping hands. I turned a weakness into a strength and became proud of using it as part of my identity because it was something that helped make life easier for me. A few years later, I wanted to get a guide dog because going to university and trying to find a seat in a big dark auditorium filled with people with just a cane hitting everyone's legs absolutely terrified me. Plus, a guide dog is so much better company. Right, Jarvis? Now, while all this was happening, I was pursuing a career in music. I attended a music school and played the piano, flute and guitar, as well as singing. I started singing at weddings and charity events, and even won a trip to Italy to sing on television. I auditioned for Australia's Got Talent and the X Factor and didn't get anywhere with those. But finally, The Voice came along. I heard blind auditions and I thought, this must be the show for me. Somehow, I kept getting through the rounds and ended up coming third on the very first season in 2012. And it's a scary thought that this might have been past your bedtime for some of you. I wanted to talk a little bit about my portrayal on this show. So in the media, we see several stereotypes of disability displayed. There's the inspirational person who supposedly defies their disability to do great things. There's the innocent person with disability who is naive and angelic. There's the bitter person who resents the world for their disability. And there's a few others, but the first two were my experience on The Voice, with the third happening sometimes behind closed doors. People would always tell me that I was inspirational for going on The Voice, despite being blind, and I would think to myself, that's really weird. You don't need to see to sing. I thought being blind was as relevant to my musical ability as having blonde hair. However, I learned later that for some people, their disability or an obstacle in their life that may not appear relevant can very well stop them from participating in life. Sometimes our minds can be the biggest obstacle there is. Self-talk and perspective can be a very powerful thing. Circling back, I didn't get through on Australia's Got Talent and The X Factor, as I said, when I auditioned for those shows. I could have easily taken this as a sign that I wasn't meant to continue with a music career. As some of you might be aware, pursuing a career in a creative field or small business can be one of the most exhausting and unpredictable paths to follow. Instead of believing I wasn't good enough for them, I decided to tell myself that I wasn't what they were looking for. This is a crucial difference because it puts the blame on them instead of insinuating that my ability is to blame. Life lesson? When you start applying for jobs or following a path you're passionate about, such as a speech path, always remember that you have something special to offer. When someone doesn't recognise this, don't see it as a roadblock. It's just a stepping stone on the river to your destination. There's probably a stone waiting for you if you turn slightly to your right. Step on that one instead. That's what I did when I went on The Voice, and it turned out to be one of the best things I ever did. I remember sometimes being very scared to sing some high notes while I was on The Voice. It didn't matter if I rehearsed hours upon hours and always hit the notes in private. Once I was out on that stage, that rehearsal went out the door and a different muscle took over. Some of the best advice I was ever given was to use adrenaline to my advantage. I was facing a fear and feeling the fight or flight instinct. I could have shrunk away from the high notes and never taken that chance and never known what could have been, or I could have trusted in myself and the muscles I'd tried so hard to tone and used that adrenaline to propel myself forward. I find that I never regret the chances I take, but the ones that I don't. They kind of stay with me, like a little question mark on my past that can't be erased. This is a reminder to take the chances. Use the adrenaline. If you feel scared, it might mean that something amazing is about to happen. Give it your all and just watch what happens. The name Rachael Leahcar is my stage name, and it's the same forwards and backwards, so it's a palindrome. I started using this name because I admired artists like Pink, Lady Gaga, and Judy Garland, who all use stage names. My real last name backwards before I got married was Womalatrab. I'll let you work that one out, which is way too long for a CD cover, and there's another reason why I started using this name. And it's a reason I only realised a couple of years ago. When I'm performing on stage, I have a different face. We all wear different faces in different contexts, and we have the face we use for things like school, work, and church. There's the face we use with our friends, taking part in sport, music, and all things fun. And lastly, there's the face we assume when we're alone. We take off the mask and we're completely bare. This face is just one part of ourselves, but I find it's the time we're most critical. We look in the mirror and we think, do I like what I see? What needs to change? Will people accept me if I show the real me? I wanted to share that, in my experience, how you see yourself is not all you are. It is just the tip of the iceberg, and there is always so much more to discover about yourself, and you will find that in life, there are defining moments when you will make choices. Some of the choices will lead you to extraordinary things. Others may lead to regrets. You don't need to be the best. Just try your best. Tell yourself, I can do this. I am worthy. I make mistakes and that's okay. I have the right to be heard. I have the right to be seen, and I will face the world and let all my various faces shine. On that note, I want to say a big thank you to the mentors, tutors, lecturers and heroes of the university who have supported the students over the years. Your guidance is the foundation on which these brilliant future speechies stand, and I couldn't finish this without acknowledging that. And once again, a final big congratulations to all the graduates today. Your achievements are an absolute inspiration. I hope you can all listen to your heart as it guides you through the future and wear all your faces with pride. Thank you.